Hello and welcome to Early Childhood Ireland's podcast, which features interviews and discussions on all issues relating to high quality in the early years and school age care sector. In our episodes, we have a range of speakers who are leaders in the areas that matter to Early Childhood Ireland members. This podcast series is proudly supported by Aricus Insurance, which offers a comprehensive range of cover at discounted premiums for both business and personal insurance products. So visit www.aricus.ie for more information. I'm Maura Corbett and I work with Early Childhood Ireland. So, National Pyjama Day 2026 is nearly here. It's one of the most fun days of the year, and it's one that everybody in Early Childhood Ireland really looks forward to. It's now in its 22nd year, and this one-day event has already raised over €4.5 million for charities supporting children. On Friday, the 27th of February, children and staff around the country will be sponsored to wear their pyjamas, and to celebrate, children in settings will enjoy fun activities like storytelling, creative activities like arts and crafts, nursery rhymes, onesie parties, and so much more. This year, the National Pyjama Day is supporting LauraLynn, Ireland's Children's Hospice, Caring for the Child, Supporting the Family, and our member project, Eco Motions. To talk to me today about what being part of this wonderful day means to them and to tell us more about how funds raised will support their work, I'm delighted to be joined by Rebecca Candon, Family Support Team Manager at LauraLynn, Ireland's Children's Hospice, and by my colleague Lorraine Diggins, Early Childhood Specialist at Early Childhood Ireland, and she's the project lead on the Eco Emotions project. So Rebecca began her career as a speech and language therapist, gaining a deep appreciation for the importance of early childhood support and working closely with a wide range of early childhood care providers. This early experience shaped her commitment to ensuring that children and families receive the right supports at the right time. Rebecca has worked in a variety of roles across the disability sector, building extensive expertise in family-centred practice, social inclusion, and community-based support. She joined LauraLynn in 2023 and now leads the Family Support Team, an interdisciplinary team that provides holistic support to the entire family impacted by paediatric palliative care. She's passionate about creating opportunities for children with complex needs to be included in their communities. And one of the highlights of her career has been running a Saturday club that enabled children to enjoy fun, friendship, and independence out and about in their local community. And this work continues to inspire her strong belief in inclusive, meaningful participation for all children and families. And Lorraine Diggins has worked with Early Childhood Ireland for almost a year. Previously, she worked with Link, the Leadership for Inclusion programme. As I mentioned, she's project lead on Eco Emotions, which is a member project that supports early years educators to nurture children's emotional well-being through meaningful connections with nature. She has a background in early childhood education and a deep commitment to outdoor learning. Lorraine is passionate about helping educators to slow down, notice more, and create emotionally rich outdoor experiences that support children and adults to feel connected to themselves, to each other, and to the natural world. Rebecca and Lorraine, you're both really welcome, and thank you both for taking the time.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Maura. It's lovely to be here.
So, Lorraine, I'll ask you first to tell us a little bit about National Pyjama Day and how the plans are going along since we opened registration early in January.
Absolutely. So, again, thanks, Maura, for having me. I'm really delighted to be here to talk about National Pyjama Day and our Eco Emotions project. So, this is actually my first National Pyjama Day with Early Childhood Ireland, and I can honestly say it does not disappoint. The excitement in the organisation has just been incredible, and it's just so lovely to be part of something that brings so much joy to children and educators right across the country. National Pyjama Day is a joyful nationwide initiative that brings early years school age childcare settings and families together for a shared day of comfort, play, and connection. And on the day, children and the adults too wear their pajamas and take part in fun, inclusive activities that celebrate childhood, well-being, and belonging. So this year at Early Childhood Ireland, we're really seeing National Pyjama Day as an opportunity to slow things down, to be able to tune into children's emotional worlds and to create that calm, predictable experience where every child can take part in ways that feel right for them. So we're actually encouraging settings to adapt the day to suit their own children and their own contexts, because we really feel that inclusion means recognizing that the same day can look different for every child.
For sure.
So we've actually collaborated with Claire Butterley from the Leadership for Inclusion programme, the LINK programme this year. And we have developed an inclusion guide for all inclusion coordinators and our member settings. So it's full of practical tips and lovely, easy ideas that help support all children. So starting well in advance of the day itself, the guide will closely link with our children's pack too. So alongside that, we're providing guidance and resources that will help educators to plan for thoughtful and comfortable experiences that will promote well-being and co-regulation and connection. So these all closely aligned with Ashton inclusive practice as well.
There's
So
some great resources in the in that pack. I mean, every year we kind of layer on another bit to help settings make it more inclusive, and I think this year is going to, be a fantastic support for settings.
absolutely. There's some fabulous visual supports that we can use for timetabling and for now and next, and they're all available then as downloads. So you can print as many as you like for as many rooms as you like. And, they can actually be printed and given to parents in advance of National Pyjama Day as well, which is great because everybody then is on board and everybody can feel included and feel comfortable coming in.
And that's so important. Rebecca, I'm conscious that, many of our members probably will be familiar with LauraLynn. And of course, there's always the possibility that the family some of our members work with may have used your services. But, in case there are people who aren't familiar with LauraLynn, can you tell us a little bit about the work the organisation does, how it developed, and so on, and then we can talk about the specific project that's being funded this year.
Thanks a million there, Maura. So LauraLynn was founded by the great work of Jane and Brenda McKenna, who sadly lost both their daughters in childhood. They had a little girl, Laura, who was born with a congenital heart condition, and they cared for Laura until the age of 4. And Laura sadly died at the age of 4. And then subsequently, their daughter Lynn had an oncology diagnosis and died at age 15. And Jane and Brendan worked so hard to care for their children, and they felt that after the loss of their daughters, they didn't want any family to go unsupported on their journey, and they vowed that they would fundraise to develop Ireland's first children's hospice. So they fundraised for a number of years, and then in 2011 they joined the Children's Sunshine Home, and Ireland's first children's hospice opened its doors. And their legacy, lives on to this day. And LauraLynn now cares for, has grown and grown. It's a national organisation. We have services in Munster, Connacht and Leinster, along with our hospice on site here in Leopardstown. And we look after the medical needs of children with life-limiting palliative care illnesses, but also, more importantly, their whole family. So I suppose the synergy between all of our work here today is that we cherish the childhoods of the children that come to our service and the siblings of those children, and aim to give wraparound care and emotional support to families going through a palliative care journey.
I love the fact that it's the whole family, because understandably the focus can be on the child who's sick, but it obviously has massive impacts on siblings, and that wraparound bit is so important, and the nationwide bit that that all families all over the country can be supported. And that's really important, that it's not just the child in one particular geographical area. And can you tell us a bit about the specific project then that the funds raised from Pyjama Day can support?
Funds raised from Pyjama Day will go straight into our family support team. So that's the team that I look after. So we look after the medical side of the children's care needs, but my team is an interdisciplinary team with a large number of specialised disciplines who support grandparents, the children and parents of and siblings of families with palliative care needs. So on my team, we have a social worker, a clinical psychologist with the specialism of palliative care, play therapy and music therapy. We've also all the other specialisms such as physiotherapy, occupational therapy. But just to bring it back to the child and the emotional support needs of the whole family, a number of the disciplines in our team work in an interdisciplinary way with the families to support and promote resilience. You would really be inspired when you see the dedication and commitment of our parents to caring for their children. But if we can support them and the siblings to manage the impact of the illness in the house, we can contribute to a happy, healthy childhood, and where a family can really draw on their own strengths to manage the best they can in the difficult situations they find themselves in. So, for example, with this funding, we can do some really lovely things. So, one of our things that we do in LauraLynn 4 times a year, we block book our family accommodation and our LauraLynn house, which is for short breaks. And when we block book this, the medical needs of the LauraLynn child are cared for, and the family get to be just a family, and the siblings feel heard and noticed. And we do whole family activities where there's a therapeutic focus on it, but we would have things like someone coming in to do baking or flower arranging with the whole family. So they have this beautiful, beautiful memory of all being together and everyone in the family being cherished and after. Other projects that we do, we do these regional time together events. So we'll say in most counties in Ireland, we would have a time together event where families can all come together in a hotel, have coffee morning. We have all the equipment needed for the day. And it's like a parent and toddler coffee morning or parent and young person coffee morning. Our team are there with music therapy, our social worker maybe there, just seeing what we can do to support the families. So it's a very informal event, but we get to know the families and get to know their needs and support the children in that way. We do lots of other lovely things. We do sibling days. So during every midterm, we have a day for siblings, which is really, really lovely. And we bring siblings together who have brothers or sisters who are in our service, and they get to speak about the commonalities of their experience. And with that, there's real support and resilience, and then of course play and fun as well. So there's lots and lots of different initiatives that we do all over the country that this money will really enable us to do, which is really fabulous. We have a very special project coming up now, and I just tell you, on the 13th of February, we have LauraLynn at the Abbey, and this is where we have 6 children who meet with a playwright, Paul Timoney, and they tell them, their special interests and their stuff about their family. And then Paul goes away and puts together a play that brings all those children's stories together. And then they're facilitated by our nurses who are camouflaged in the background to showcase this fabulous play. And this is like fabulous moment for all their family to come and see them in the Abbey Theatre, our national theatre. And it's a real bespoke and true art form that just really recognises childhood and the value of participating to your full ability in arts and cultural events in the community. So it speaks to everything that you and Lorraine are talking about. This money is making an amazing difference to all these special projects that we do.
They sound amazing. I mean, I've just jotted down, the emphasis on music and play, the bringing families together where the medical care is there, but it's not, it's not a clinical environment, which is just wonderful to help families just be families and build those memories. It's fantastic. And then, oh my God, the sound of the Abbey, that sounds absolutely amazing. So it's wonderful. And and it does speak to, even what Lorraine was saying about the focus on inclusion, that, they're children first, and I suppose sick children second in a way, but their medical needs. I don't know if that's, you might correct me if I'm expressing that in an incorrect way, but it sounds wonderful.
You're spot on, and so that having those specialist supports are so important.
So important, so important. It's just vital. So Lorraine, about this time last year, maybe we had an episode updating because Eco Emotions is a project that's been ongoing. So we had a podcast introducing, kind of what we had done so far in relation to Eco Emotions. So can you, before you tell us about the plans for 2026, can you tell us a little bit about what happened with Eco Emotions in the past year?
Yeah, thanks. So I suppose I came into Eco Motions at a very exciting stage. We had just wrapped up a fantastic series of webinars with some incredible speakers. We had Nikki Buchan talking about nurturing nature. Stuart Shanker shared his work on self-regulation. June O'Sullivan gave us insight into embracing sustainability, and we had Louise Porter, who helped us to deepen our understanding then of children's emotions. And all of these sessions have now been developed into a reflective course that sits on our Learning Hub for members, which is brilliant because it means our educators can revisit all that learning in their own time. So I was also delighted to add to that series with a webinar with Lisa Flanagan on mindfulness in nature. So that's going to be coming to the Learning Hub very soon. So that's something for everyone to look forward to. This year is especially exciting for Eco Emotions and National Pyjama Day because we have created a nature adventure resource that all our members will see. So it's been sent out as part of the physical pack to settings who have registered. And it's a carefully curated piece with lots of things for children to look for in nature. So from twigs to snails to the more abstract prompts like finding something smooth or exploring different colours that are all around the edge of it. And what's really lovely is that it's designed to be used again and again in all weathers, and we're really excited about it. And Maura, what's even better is that it's available for everyone to download on our Eco Emotions webpage, along with our self-regulation cards and a lovely tip sheet for different ways to use them. Just in case some of our members didn't know that our self-regulation cards now are also available in our shop. So they can pop them into their basket anytime that they're placing an order. So it's lovely to have those in your hand.
Yeah, and there's no charge for those. It's just the postage of your order.
Absolutely. And we also have them on our Eco Emotions webpage as well. So they're downloadable for everybody, for parents and for anybody who'd like to access the Nature Adventure card. It's all in there, and it is Oscuelga as well. So that's really, really exciting. So it's there for everybody.
And I think it's lovely that they're going to families as well.
Yeah.
It's not just a setting resource like the self-regulation cards went to families as well. So, families can see a tangible benefit to supporting Pyjama Day, which is great.
Absolutely. It's lovely to have something like that you can use again and again, and it just brings a little bit of joy. We're delighted to once again be funded through National Pyjama Day again this year, and we're already working really hard on bringing some really meaningful initiatives together. So we're collaborating with Biodiversity in Schools to develop an e-learning program, which is going to support our educators to teach children about biodiversity, about enhancing their outdoor spaces, no matter how big or small they are, and to better support nature. And on top of that, more sneaky information, we're going to be developing some fabulous immersive workshops and creating a seasonal toolkit this year that's going to be packed full of ideas to help children and educators to connect with nature throughout the year. Watch this space, a very busy year ahead for us.
Fantastic plans. So the funds that will be raised by Pyjama Day will be put to very good use, supporting children, supporting families, supporting children's understanding of sustainability, self-regulation, the importance of nature and the world around us. So it's fantastic. Rebecca, before we start to wrap up, was there anything that you wanted to add?
I just think it's lovely to hear about the Eco Emotions project and the value of time spent in nature. And LauraLynn really embraces and understands the importance of time spent in nature for the general well-being of the children that we look after and their families. On our Leopardstown site, each child's bedroom has double doors so that the family can go straight out into our beautiful gardens. And we work very hard to keep our gardens beautiful and have our bug hotels, our sensory garden. We have a herb garden which our kiddies can play in and have that sensory experience. We find for our children, being in nature is so regulating, and our sensory garden is a really great thing to have on site. But I'd just love to tell you a little bit about our memorial garden. We look after bereaved families also, and the siblings impacted by bereavement in the family. And we have a memorial garden in LauraLynn, and it's a very special place. And it has the names of the children that died over the years. And there's a lovely walkway for the families to remember their child. But we also have wonderful volunteers in LauraLynn who help maintain our gardens and keep our flowers and our trees blooming. And it's an oasis of peace and beauty for all our families and volunteers. So we are so thankful to Early Childhood Ireland and the National Pyjama Day, because although it's great fun to wear your pyjamas to preschool, the impact on our service and our families will be huge. So thank you very, very much.
I've heard from my colleagues who visited the hospice that it is an amazing place, and the garden sounds just wonderful. So and that bit of that, it continues after a child has died, that it's still a place of comfort for families is beautiful. It's lovely. So it's fantastic work. Lorraine, was there anything you wanted to add before we wrap up?
No, I suppose it's just to kind of say that, at its heart, Eco Emotions, is really, it recognizes something very simple but very powerful for children. That, children can regulate through relationships, and nature just gives us this incredible calming space to support us. I suppose whether it's just feeling the grass under your feet or listening to the birds, or, being out in that beautiful sensory garden, and that, for all children, those everyday moments can really help us all to slow down, to notice how we're all feeling, and just reconnect with ourselves, with each other, and, like that, reconnect as families, just exactly what you're doing, Rebecca. It's just amazing work.
So thank you both so much for taking the time to tell us about the projects. We're delighted in Early Childhood Ireland that registrations are going so well, and we're looking forward to a fabulous day on Friday, the 27th of February. And it's not too late to register. So if you've been meaning to do it and just didn't get to it yet, just head to our website and click the register now button. Rebecca and Lorraine, thank you so much. It's been lovely to hear about the projects that Pyjama Day is supporting this year. Such important work. So thank you both so much.
Thanks, Maura.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening to this episode of Early Childhood Ireland's podcast, which is proudly supported by Aricus Insurance. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, spread the word to your friends and colleagues, and stay tuned for our next episode.